Okay. Yeah. Good morning, guys. This is Venkatramana. Welcome to our YouTube channel, The Guide. So, in earlier classes, we already explained regarding the basic needs of our daily life. That means, what are the major reasons for our surviving and for our existence that we already explained in the introduction of biological science. Now, we are going to discuss about how these food items are helpful in our daily life. And only that means how these food items are helpful in our daily life means that everybody knows, yes, food is very important for the development and the repair and body growth and existence even. So that is the major reason the food is very important very important thing in our personal life. That means not only in the living organisms like human beings, it is very important in all the living organisms. So how these food items are prepared? My point is how these food items are prepared. Yes, sir, food items are prepared by the plants. That's okay. So food items are prepared by the plants. That's what the plants are called autotrophs. That means we have an idea. Autotrophs means the organisms which are prepared their own food is called autotrophs. That means the organisms which are not prepared their own food means some other name, I think. I think you have an idea. If the organisms are prepared their own food, it is called autotrophs. Okay. If organisms are not prepared their own food means it may be called as in some other name. That name is called heterotrophs. That means based on the food items preparation, that organisms are two types. One is autotrophs and the second thing is heterotrophs. Autotrophs means the organisms which are prepared their own food is called autotrophs. That means plants are autotrophs. Here I have a doubt. Sir, all the plants are autotrophs now. Is it right? No. Only green plants are autotrophs. That means only green plants only prepare the food items. That means some of the plants which are not in green color, which are also depending upon the green plants for the food. That means some of the plants also not in autotrophs mode. That means some of the plants belongs to heterotrophs also. You got it? That means only green plants are prepared the food items. You remember that? Only green plants are prepared the food items. That means for the preparation of the food in the green plant, something is there. You have to identify. You have to question, yes, only green plants are prepared the food items means something is there in the green plants. You have an idea in your mind. So what is that? That we will explain you later. Before that, all these green plants are prepared the food items in a special process, in a life process that is called photosynthesis, that everybody knows, I think. What is called photosynthesis that everybody learn? So before we are going to explain the clear topic of photosynthesis, we have to discuss about this photosynthesis process. Yes. Photosynthesis is a continuous and regular process in all the green plants. And it is the major topic in 10th class and even in second year intermediate also. Now my point is how this photosynthesis process is going on. And apart from that, what is called photosynthesis? In biology, there is a wonderful option for all the people, all the students particularly. How it is means, if you clearly observe the word or sentence, you can get the definition of the word. For example, photosynthesis. Yes. Here, if you divide this photosynthesis like photo and synthesis, photo plus synthesis is nothing but photosynthesis. Here, photo means what? You have an idea. Photo means, yes, sir, I have a number of photos. I can understand. How the photography is going on? Yes, when there is a light, there you can see, you can get more good fix. Yes, that means photo is related to the light. You have an idea. That means indirectly, photo is related to the light. That means light synthesis. Synthesis means what? Synthesis is nothing but preparation. So light prepares. What prepares? I already told you, photosynthesis is a food preparation process. So photo means light, synthesis means preparation. Light prepares what? Food. Yes, light prepare the food items. That means light energy converts into our food. That means that process is called photosynthesis. So in my slide, in particular every slide I used to give some questions regarding the entire concept. So in this particular question, why green plants only prepare the food? I already told you why green plants only prepare the food means yes, there is a reason. Why not all the plants? That means green plants have a special characteristic or special pigment may be there, because of the reason green plants only prepare the food items. That we can explain you later. Okay. And the second question is, what is called nutrition? Entire these topics belongs to nutrition topic only. Yes. What is called nutrition? That everybody knows what is called nutrition means. Yes, sir. Nutrition is very important life process. Yes, that is also very important. Nutrition helps to nourishment of our body. Yes, that is okay. But what is called nutrition? I am asking about the definition of nutrition. Yes. So nutrition means intaking of nutrients. Yes, intaking of nutrients is called nutrition. Okay, that's very good. Then what is called nutrients again? Yeah, nutrients are nothing but chemical substances which are helpful for our growth and development and repair of our body, which are called nutrients. Can you give some examples of nutrients? Yes, sir. Carbohydrates, proteins, fats, water, fibers, minerals, vitamins, all these components are called nutrients. So intaking of all these components is a process. That process is called nutrition. Okay. So what is called nutrition? And you have an idea. Yes, nutrition is nothing but intaking of nutrients is called nutrition. It helps to nourishment of our body. Apart from that, it is only process we can survive in our existence. That means. Okay. And who is the father of nutrition? That is also one question in this slide. Who is the father of nutrition? Lavoisier is the father of nutrition, not only for the nutrition. Lavoisier is the father of nutrition and modern chemistry also. So that is also very important. And what are the types of nutrition? That I will explain you in the next classes. Okay. So that means you can, in this slide particularly, you have to learn how what is this photosynthesis helps into the plants. And now coming to this, how this life process, that means how this photosynthesis is very important. Yes, sir. Photosynthesis is very important life process. I already repeatedly I told you. Yes, I agree with you. But how this life process photosynthesis is very important. I already told you, by this process only we are getting the food. So for the food items it is very important life process. Yes, that is absolutely correct. For the food items, not for human beings. And every organisms depends upon the plants for the food, including ourselves. So that is the major reason photosynthesis is very important part. Apart from that, through this process we are getting oxygen. That oxygen is very important for all the living organisms. That's what photosynthesis process is very important life process. Yes. That means by this photosynthesis only one is food and the second is oxygen. Apart from that, fossil fuels. Fossil fuels means you have an idea, petrol, diesel, coal. How these things you can, if you ask your mind how the petrol is formed, how the diesel is formed, how the coal is formed. If you ask your mind, you have an idea. Yes. These fossil fuels also you can get from these plants only. Do you have an idea? How these fossil fuels are formed means, how these fossil fuels are prepared means, yes, these fossil fuels are prepared by the help of plants only. After decaying, after burying of plant products, it forms into the fossil fuels. Apart from that, medicines. Yes, medicines also prepared by the photosynthesis process only. Yes, by this photosynthesis also we are getting the medicines indirectly. So that is the major reason this is very important life process among all the life process in the plants. So my point is, now we can go for the photochemical, that means the photosynthesis process. Yes, it is a photochemical reaction and it is a continuous life process. Apart from that, it is a food production process. And one more thing, If you go for this photochemical, if you go for the photosynthesis process, I have a doubt once again. Yes. Food prepares, what is called food? Food in simplest form, food is food low, simplest form ante that is called glucose. Yes. In photosynthesis process, plants are prepared the food items like glucose or proteins or whatever it may be, but the simplest unit of the food is glucose. Glucose chemical formula is C6H12O6. C6H12O6. C6H12O6, in this particular C6H12O6, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen is there. That means C6H12O6 is the complex molecule, you can understand. How this complex molecule is prepared by the plant? Yes, that means plants are prepared the food items. That means plants are converts the simple inorganic molecules into complex organic molecules are called as photosynthesis process. So this definition says that if you go for this definition, third one, it is a process which green plants converts simple inorganic molecules into complex organic molecules. Here have a doubt. What are the simple inorganic molecules in the nature? Yes, carbon dioxide is the simplest inorganic molecules. Yes. Water is the simplest inorganic molecule in the nature. That means plants are prepared these food items by the help of carbon dioxide and water. So in this second slide, I have some questions. Why it is an important life process? I already told you why photosynthesis is important, means by getting food, oxygen, medicines. Apart from that, fossil fuels, coal and firing wood, all these things we can get from this photosynthesis process only. That is the reason this is very important life process. And the second thing is, what are the other factors required for photosynthesis? For photosynthesis, some factors are required. That factors are, two factors we explained here, carbon dioxide and water are very important factors for photosynthesis process. And rest of the factors I will explain you in the next slide. And the answer for this question you can get the end of this session, no problem. Okay. And the next one is, if you go for the next slide, yes, we will go for an equation for the photosynthesis. It is very important equation. It is very important formulation from since 10th class to upper classes. That means degree and post graduation also even. So actually this equation, which is even still being prepared actually, but in the year 1931, one of the scientists, who is Mr. C.B. von Neil, in the 1931, he was formulated one equation for this photosynthesis. Now all these, that means all the scientists and all the people are following this formula only. That formula we are explaining here. So in every chemical reaction, you have an idea, reactants are there, products are there. Reactants means in the equation, what are the substances are important, what are the substances are involved, those substances are called reactants. And products means in the entire equation what we are getting and what we are getting in the end, those are called products. So in between, intermediate products also formed. Intermediate products means when the reactants converts into products, some of the intermediate products may be formed. That we will explain you clearly. So if you go for an equation, yes, this is the equation for photosynthesis. As CO2 plus 2H2O gives rise to, in the presence of chlorophyll and light, carbohydrates are formed. Carbohydrates means CH2O, N and Rayali. Actually, I'm sorry to that. And water plus oxygen. If you observe clearly, carbon dioxide and water and the light and chlorophyll, these are the four factors are very important to produce the carbohydrates and oxygen, isn't it? So coming to this topic, here oxygen is very important. That means in the photosynthesis, oxygen is evolved, oxygen is liberated, and food items are prepared. Apart from that, water also are releasing from this process, photosynthesis. So if you ask, if a question is there in the DS or whatever it may be, what is the end product, what is the primary end product of photosynthesis ante you have to give the answer yes, carbohydrates are the primary end products. What are the end products? If they are asked in plural term, then you can write yes, carbohydrates, oxygen and water are the end products of the photosynthesis. If they asked only one thing, what is the end product of photosynthesis, means you have to explain yes, only food items are the end products for the photosynthesis. So why there is a photosynthesis process, means photosynthesis is the process for preparing the food. When there is a food preparation, oxygen is the secondary product. Okay, oxygen is liberated, I agree with you, but the oxygen is the second product, second end product. Okay, so coming to this topic, photosynthesis equation is very important. The carbon dioxide, water is gives rise to carbohydrates plus oxygen. In between, some intermediate products also form. In other words, if you go for a small example, if you want to make a ghee అంటే మీకు తెలుసు, నెయ్యి. ఒక నెయ్యి ప్రిపేర్ చేయాలనుకుంటే మీరు పాలు నుంచి నెయ్యి వస్తుంది, దట్ ఎవరిబడి నోస్. ఎస్, మిల్క్ కన్వర్ట్స్ ఇంటూ ఘీ. హౌ ద మిల్క్ ఈజ్ కన్వర్ట్స్ ఇంటూ ఘీ? డైరెక్ట్గా మిల్క్ నుంచి మనకి నెయ్యి రాదు కదండి. ఎస్, ఏం చేయాలి, మనం మిల్క్ని బాయిల్ చేస్తాం, అది కర్డ్గా కన్వర్ట్ అవుతుంది. ఎస్, మిల్క్ కన్వర్ట్స్ ఇంటూ కర్డ్ అండ్ అగైన్ కర్డ్ కన్వర్ట్స్ ఇంటూ బటర్ మిల్క్గా కన్వర్ట్ అవుతుంది. అండ్ బటర్ మిల్క్ కన్వర్ట్స్ ఇంటూ బటర్, దట్ మీన్స్ వెన్నగా కన్వర్ట్ అవుతుంది. అండ్ అగైన్ ఆ వెన్న నుంచి మరలా మనకి నెయ్యి ఏర్పడుతుంది. సో ఇన్ దిస్ ఎంటైర్ ప్రాసెస్ ద స్టార్టింగ్ ప్రాసెస్ ఈజ్ మిల్క్, స్టార్టింగ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఈజ్ మిల్క్. సో మిల్క్ ఈజ్ కన్వర్ట్స్ ఇంటూ ఘీ. అంటే ఈ పాలు అనేవి నెయ్యిగా మారడానికి మధ్యలో కొన్ని ఏర్పడినాయి, కర్డ్ కానీ లేదంటే బటర్ మిల్క్ కానీ. వీటిని ఏమంటామంటే మనం ఇంటర్మీడియటరీ ప్రొడక్ట్స్ అంటాం. సో ఇంటర్మీడియటరీ ప్రొడక్ట్స్ అంటే మధ్యంగా ఏర్పడేవి. దట్ మీన్స్ ఇన్ ద ఎంటైర్ ప్రాసెస్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ ద ప్రొడక్ట్స్ ఆర్ formed in the medium, in the middle wise. These products are called intermediary products. So in this particular photosynthesis also intermediary products are there, no doubt it. So this is the best formula for the photosynthesis. So this photosynthesis formula was given by Mr. C.B. Van Neel in the year of 1931. So this is the only formula we are following along with all the scientists in the botany, that means in the plant. So if you go for in this slide, some questions are there. How oxygen is liberated, from where it is from release? One question is I was raised in this slide. In this slide I clearly explained oxygen is liberated. Yes, so oxygen means here I clearly explained you. So arrow also I showed you in the that means gas, in the gas. So oxygen is released. How the oxygen is released? Oxygen means O2. Generally it is written as a O2 only, that everybody knows, no problem. That oxygen you can see in the water also. Yes, H2O. In H2O there is a oxygen molecule. In the carbon dioxide also there is a water, there is a oxygen. Yes, that means we are getting this oxygen either from the water or carbon dioxide. I have a doubt. This oxygen from the that means whether the oxygen is getting from the water or carbon dioxide, that's my question. How oxygen is liberated? From where it from release? Where it from release means it may be from carbon dioxide or water. Now my point is how it is liberated. Yes, if you go for no for this question, we can go for the next slide. Yes, how oxygen is liberated? Oxygen is liberated from the water molecule. Water means H2O, that everybody knows. When the H2O molecule breakdowns into protons and oxygen in the presence of light, that is called photolysis of water. That is only I am giving the first statement. After several periods, after several experiences by the scientists, particularly Mr. Robert Hill showed that oxygen is being released from the water with the help of light. So oxygen is released from the water with the help of light. So How the oxygen is released from the water means we have an idea, that is already I told you, that is called photolysis of water. I already told you in the biology, if you go for a clear idea about the word, photo means light, lysis means breakdowns water, breakdowns the water in the presence of light. Breakdowns the water in the presence of light is called photolysis of water. If you go for an equation, one minute, I'm sorry, yes. If you go for an equation that H2O is breakdowns into protons plus oxygen. You got it? So this water is converts into protons plus oxygen, or this water breakdowns into protons plus oxygen is called photolysis of water. So in the photolysis of water, for photolysis of water, what is required means light is required. Yes, that is very important. So during the light time, that means during the daytime, during the presence of light, that water is converts into oxygen. That water is breakdowns into oxygen. That means oxygen is released when the light is there. You got some point, I think. When the light is there, oxygen is liberated. Light eppudu untundi sir? Only daytime. Yes. During the daytime only oxygen is liberated. You got my point? So if plants wants to release the oxygen means it needs the light, no doubt it. That means during the night time there is no releasing of oxygen. That is the major reason we are not going to sleep under the trees in the night time, because during the night time the plants are not liberated the oxygen. That is the major reason our elder people are used to say that you cannot sleep under the trees, under the plants during the time of night. So that is the reason, because oxygen only released in the daytime in the presence of light from the water. So that process is called photolysis of water. So photolysis of water means you have an idea in the last slide questions how the oxygen is liberated means yes, from the water you can get the oxygen, okay. And the second thing, what is the process means I already told you, photolysis of water. You can go for the next question. Okay, in this slide I am going to explain you the factors which are involved in the photosynthesis. The particular factors, what are the factors which are involved in the photosynthesis? So actually two factors are there for this photosynthesis. One is external factors and the second thing is internal factors. What is external factors? External factors means external, X means outside. Internal factors means inter means in means inside. So external factors means the factors which are inside the plants, which are outside the plants are called external factors. The factors which are helpful in our photosynthesis, which are getting from outside of the plant, those are called external factors. One is light and carbon dioxide. In the equation, in the last slide, in the previous slide I explained you, carbon dioxide and water and the presence of light and chlorophyll. These four are major factors for the photosynthesis. If you differentiate these four factors, you can have an idea. External factors means outside from the plant. That means light is outside from the plant. Carbon dioxide is outside from the plant. So these two are external factors. And what are the internal factors? Internal factors means I already told you green plants are prepared the food items in the first slide. Why only green plants are prepared the food items means yes, there is a pigment is there, that pigment is called chlorophyll. Why the plants are in green color means yes, there is a reason, there is a green color pigment in the leaves, that green color pigment is called chlorophyll. Because of the chlorophyll pigment presence in the leaves which are visible in the green color. So here green color pigment chlorophyll is one of the important factor and one of the internal factors for this photosynthesis process. Apart from that, water also one of the internal factors. Apart from these external and internal factors, other factors also there, like our temperature and enzymes and some other may be there. It will explain you clearly in the mechanism of photosynthesis for the coming classes. Okay, these are the other factors that I will explain you clearly for the next class. So in this particular slide, I have some questions in my mind when I am explaining the topic. That question is how the light involves in the photosynthesis. So external factors from light onwards we are going to teach in a detailed manner. So the first one is light. How the light is prepared. That means how the light helps in the photosynthesis process. We know that there is the only source we are getting the light. There is the only natural source we are getting the light. That is everybody knows, sun. So we are getting the light from the sun. That is the natural resources. And light is one form of energy that everybody knows. Yes. So from the sun there is the smallest light rays may be there. That smallest light rays are called photons. Photons. Actually in the photosynthesis, photo means photons. Photons are nothing but smallest light rays. The energy which is there in the photons are called quantum. It is a simple thing in the physical science, I think. What is called photons means light rays are called photons. The energy in the photons is called quantum. So in this particular thing, how the light is important for the photosynthesis means I will explain you in the next slide. Okay. So in this particular question, how this light is very important. So if you go for a light, actually light is one type of energy that everybody knows, and light is the part of electromagnetic radiation. If you go for detailed study of the light is a 7 colors of mixture. Actually our visible light is a 7 colors mixture. That is the reason the rainbow is in seven in colors, I think. The 7 colors everybody knows which are violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. These are the 7 colors we can see in the light. So these 7 colors you can find in this particular wavelength, that is from 400 to 700 nanometers. 400 to 700 nanometers. It lies between ultraviolet rays and infrared rays. Actually you have an idea, gamma rays, cosmic rays, radiothermic rays, all these light rays may be there. So among these all, this particular visible light is in between ultraviolet rays and infrared rays. So if you go for these clear explanation of this light rays, actually there is a basic formula in the light in the physical science, I think. When the light falls on any object, it should be reflect, or it should be refract, or it should be absorbed. These are the major characteristics of the light. So whenever the light falls on any object, it should be reflect, it should be refract, it should be absorbed. In coming to this, when the light rays falls on the leaves, actually I already told you light is very important for the process of photosynthesis. When the light rays falls on the object is leaves, green leaves. When the light falls on green leaves, it either reflect or refract or absorb. So if light is reflected from the green leaves, there is no usage of light. If light is refracted from the green leaves, there is no usage of light. If light is absorbed, yes, there is a usage of light. That means if light energy converts into chemical energy in the process photosynthesis, means the light should be absorbed in the green plants. So what color of light is absorbing by the green plants means particularly red color and blue color light is very important for the photosynthesis process. That means photosynthesis process is more and more in the particular light red and blue color, because in the red and blue color there is a absorption more in the green color pigment. So that is the major reason there is a photosynthesis process is rich in the red color and the blue color light. But when you compare to the orange color, when you compare to the green color, there is no. If you go for a green color, when the green color light falls on the green leaves, it reflects from the leaves. It reflects from the leaves means there is no usage of light. When there is no usage of light means there is no conversion of anything. there is no conversion of energy. That means in the green color there is no preparation of food items. You got it? So in particularly I'm clearly explained you the photosynthesis process is more in the blue and red color, whereas in the green color light there is no photosynthesis. Why there is no photosynthesis process in green color means, in the green color light means, when the green color light falls on the object, it reflects from the green leaves. So there is no usage of light in the green leaves. That is the major reason there is no photosynthesis in the green light, isn't it? So that is the major question. That is the major question, and even in some of the competitive exams like DSC and other things. పర్టికులర్లీ వాళ్ళు ఎట్లా క్వశ్చన్ చేస్తారంటే, మీకు ఫోటోసింథసిస్ అనేది ఎక్కువగా ఈ ఆకుపచ్చ గ్రీన్ కలర్ లైట్లో ఎందుకు జరగదు అంటే దానికి కారణం ఒకటే రిఫ్లెక్షన్. అది రిఫ్లెక్షన్ అవ్వడం వల్ల అది ఎప్పుడైతే గ్రీన్ లీవ్స్కి వెన్ ఫాల్స్ ఆన్ ద గ్రీన్ లీవ్స్ ఇట్ మైట్ బి రిఫ్లెక్టెడ్. దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ దెర్ ఇస్ నో ఫోటోసింథసిస్ ఇన్ ద గ్రీన్ లైట్. ఓకే, సో this is the light involves in the particularly photosynthesis process. How the light is very important, I clearly explained you. So these are the major thing. So that every entire the session, actually today I am going to conclude my session. Before concluding the session, I am giving a small clearance to the particular topic. This topic is very important because not only for life, not only for our living organisms or life process, it is very important for the intermediate and 10th class students, because this is almost 30 to 40% of the entire lesson from the intermediate secondary second year, I think. That's what it is very important task. So you people should learn more, and you should concentrate more from the next class onwards. In the next class I will clearly explain you how these what are the earliest experiences and what are the process and what is the mechanism of photosynthesis. All these things I will explain you for the next class onwards. Thank you very much. Have a good day.